Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online classes. I hope you all are fine and be safe. Okay, this year our school management decided to taking the online classes from yesterday onwards. So today we have economics subject as per your timetable. This year also I only will taking the economic subject for you. This year you have no need to taking the more effort to study the economics because already we have studied the more portion in our previous year itself. So the remaining portions, the remaining important portions only we have need to study on this year. Today we will study the one of the first chapter in economics. So first chapter in economics in this year is Introduction to Macroeconomics. Before going to study the introduction of macroeconomics, we must remain the microeconomics. So we have studied in this last year. So we have to remain the microeconomics. Have you all remained the microeconomics? The meaning of microeconomics? Anybody? Microeconomics is the study of economic action of individual units. So the individual units mean what? Says household sectors, firms and industries. Okay. So not only that, so it studies how business firms operates under output of market. Okay, or the determinant of market. Okay, how business firms operating under the determinant of market or the different type of the market. Moreover, the microeconomics is deal with how the combined action of buyers and sellers determining market prices. Okay, so if you are considering the market prices, so the two factor must be needed to determining. Okay, so the determining of the price of the market is considered by the two factors, the buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers means on the side of, on the production side, so we can consider the consumption and productions. Okay, so consumption of the product, consumption and productions mean, so how consumption will be determined and how production will be determined. So the production and the consumption are the buying and the selling also will be determined by the market conditions or the demand and supply. When we are studying the micro and the macroeconomics, so in the name itself we can understand about the micro or the macro, the meaning of micro and the macro. Okay, so the meaning of micro is small, so the micro means small, so the macro means large. Okay, so microeconomics is the study of determined microeconomics is the study of economic action of individual units. So the individual units called household sector, firms are the separate industry, are the only one industries. Okay, it studies how business firms operating under different type of market conditions. Different type of market conditions mean on the basis of time. Simply, if you want to understand about the microeconomics, microeconomics is the study of single unit of economics and economic activities. Okay, next come to the macroeconomics. Okay, so the opposite of the microeconomics may be called as macroeconomics. Opposite word mean micro mean small, so the macro mean large. So the macroeconomics is the study of economy as a whole. Economic as a whole mean all the aspect of the economic activity, such as national income, employment opportunity, output level, and GDP and GNP, and more type of policies, economic policies, and the inflations, and covered by all phenomena. In other words, the macroeconomics deals with aggregates such as national income, employment, and output, etc. Macroeconomics in its modern form began with the J.M. Keynes. J.M. Keynes mean John Maynard Keynes. Okay, he wrote one of the book. The book name is The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. It was published in 1936. So in his book only, the J.M. Keynes elaborate all over the aspect of the macroeconomics. This is why J.M. Keynes called as a father of modern macroeconomics. This macroeconomics also called as a income theory. Why we are calling the macroeconomics as income theory mean? So by the way of or on the basis of the income only, so we will consider the macro level. The subject macroeconomics covered such as more areas: employment, national income, inflation, business cycle, poverty, inequality, and so on. Okay, next, importance of macroeconomics. When we are studying the macroeconomics, what are the importance are there? First one is needed to understand the functioning of a economy. Functioning of the economy mean production and the consumption. How can we product and the produced product, how can we reach to the consumer, the hands of the consumer? There is a need to understand the functioning of the economy at the aggregate level to evolve suitable strategies. And next one is to solve the basic problems prevailing in our economy. What are the basic problems prevailing in our economy? Have you remember, everyone? So the basic problem of all the nation is what to produce, how to produce, to whom we have to produce, how much we have to produce. What to produce? Every society must decide on what goods it will be produced and how much of this it will be produced. What kind of the product the nations have to produce? Is the agricultural product or the industrial product? Okay, so if the nations have more need of the industrial goods, so the government must be allot the industrial sector, more industrial sector. Otherwise, it will be establish more agricultural sector or agro-based sector. And how to produce? Next problem is how to produce. Every society has to decide whether it will be use labor intensive technology or capital intensive technology. Okay, because if you are adopt the more capital intensive technology, so there will not be employment opportunities for all the workers. Okay, so many of the peoples will be in unemployment problem. So before we decided to adopt the technology method, so we must decide what method we have to produce the product. Next, another one of the problem is for whom we have to produce. For whom we have to produce. Every society consists of two base of or two types of the peoples: high income peoples or the low income peoples, or the rich or the poor. Okay, so rich people always want to consume the luxury goods or comfortable goods, but the poor people only wants to their basic economic necessities. The government must be take the action of satisfying two types of the peoples. Okay, so the government also have to decide for whom have to produce. All the nations must be having these all the basic problems. Okay, but this basic problem must be elaborated eliminating by the society. How can we eliminate? So by understanding the macroeconomic aspect only, so we can solve the basic problem prevailing in our economy. Next one is to understanding the future problems, needs and challenges of an economy. So what are the future problem will come in our economy? So all the macro level of the problem will occur in our economy in all the times. So without understanding the future problems and the future needs and the challenge of the economy, we cannot come to one conclusion. Next one of the importance of the macroeconomics is macroeconomics provides ample opportunities to use scientific investigations. Scientific investigations mean by using the method of investigation to analyze the macroeconomic problem. So in macroeconomic analysis, we will normally use the two types, deductive method and another one is inductive method. Deductive method mean it consists derived the conclusion from the general truth. From the general truth, if you are bringing the conclusion, that's called deductive method. Okay. Next one is inductive method. Inductive method mean it consists deriving the general truth from the conclusions. Okay. By having the basic conclusion, we must bring the general truth. That is called inductive method. Okay. So in macroeconomic analysis only, we will have the ample opportunities to use the scientific investigations. If you are considering the microeconomics also, we will use the scientific investigations, but the more opportunity only we will get when we are studying the macroeconomic analysis. Next one is, so the macroeconomic helps to make a meaningful comparison and analysis of economic indicator. The meaningful comparisons mean, so the national income of the India and the other countries, the economic activity of India with the other countries. Okay, when we are studying the macroeconomic analysis only, we will get the chance to comparing the national income of our countries and another countries. Not only the national income, so the economic activities of our nations and the another nations. And analysis of economic indicators. Economic indicators mean, have you remember what are the indicators are available in our economics? So many indicators are available in this macroeconomic analysis. So the wholesale price index and the consumer price index and the retail price index and the cost of living price index and the working class of the price index. So like that more indicators are available. So the more indicators also will be analysis in this macroeconomic only. Next, the macroeconomics help to better prediction about future. What are the problems will be arised in future and how it will be affected the economic activities. So everything will be understand by studying the macroeconomic analysis only. Next, so the macroeconomics also helpful to formulate the suitable policies to avoid the economic crisis. Okay, suitable policies mean, so we have studied in this last year itself, so the monetary policy, fiscal policy, financial policies and the tax policies. Okay, so if you are considering all the economic system, so all the nations also will be affected any one of the economic crisis or different type of the economic crisis. Okay, so when we are studying the macroeconomic analysis, so we can easily formulate the suitable policies such as the monetary policies, fiscal policies and the tax policies. Okay, so when we are formulating this type of the policies, we can easily avoid the economic crisis. Okay, next, scope of macroeconomics. Scope of macroeconomics. The study of macroeconomics has wide scope and it covers the major area. Okay, so what are the major areas of macroeconomics is, first one is national income. So the measurement of national income and its composition by sectors are the basic aspects of the macroeconomic analysis. Okay, so the composition of the national income mean that also we have studied in this last year itself. So the GDP, GNP, NNP, NNP at factor, disposable income and what? And the personal income and the per capita income. So everything is also called as a components of the national income. By having these components of the national income only, so we can bring in the clear calculation of the national income. The trends in national income and its composition provides a long-term understanding to the growth process of an economy. Here we must understand one thing, that is the trends of national income. Okay, so what is the meaning of trends of national income? So the trends of national income will be related to the standard of living people. Okay, so when the national income is increased, so it must lead to increasing in the living standard of the people. Okay, so without increasing the standard of the living standard of the peoples, we can't say the nations has increased in their income. Okay, so the national income must be consist the increased standard living of the people. Another one of the major area of the macroeconomics is inflation. We have studied very well in last year itself. Inflation means steady increase in general price level. Okay, simply if you want to know about the inflation means, so the price level will be increased continuously. Okay, otherwise value of money will be decreased. Okay, so the value of money is decrease, that also called inflation. Otherwise, so the value of money is decreased, that also called as inflation. Estimating the general price level by constructing various price index numbers such as wholesale price index number, consumer price index number, and the retail price index number, cost of living index number, and the working class index number. Okay, so the estimating the general price level by constructing various price index numbers such as wholesale price levels and consumer price index number, etc. are needed. Okay, so in this inflation we must study about the inflation. Third major area of the macroeconomics is business cycle. Almost all the economies face the problem of business fluctuations or business cycle. All the economies mean, so the developed economies or underdeveloped economies or the developing economies. Otherwise, so the mixed economy or the capitalist economy or the globalist economy. So all the economies must be face the problem of business cycle. In this business cycle, 5 bases are there. The name is depression, recovery, prosperity, boom, and recession. In this business cycle, the first step is boom or prosperity level. Boom or prosperity level. The full employment and the movement of the economy beyond the full employment is characterized as a boom period. Okay, so normally the boom period always will be occurs after the growth level or the recovery base. So during the boom level, so the money wages also will be increased, the profits increase, and interest rates also will be increased. So the government also will no need of taking the more effort to increasing the economic development because of taking all the suitable policies only. So the economic will be get this achievement. The next base of business cycle is recession. So in this basis, the turning point from boom condition is called recession. So in this base, so all the investors, entrepreneurs, banking sector, and the government must be taking the more effort to keeping the growth of economic. Because in this base only, so the investment are drastically reduced, the production also will be reduced, the income and the profit also will be reduced or decline. So there is a panic in the stock market and business activities. So signs of dullness. And liquidity preference of the people also will be increased, because if you are taking all of the industries, the agricultural sector, all the sector also will be in the boom level. Okay, after that every people will get some alert. Okay, because of that, so all the economic conditions and the employment opportunity and income level and the rate of interest also will be reduced, or it will be decreased. Okay, because of that, so the base of the business cycle from the boom recession base. Next base of the business cycle is depression. This base only will the critical base of the business cycle. During the depression time, the level of economic activity becomes extremely low, or sometimes it will attain the zero. The interest rate imposed by the bank and the agricultural and the wages also will be decreased, and it will be attained very low. So in this base cycle only, the agricultural class and the wage earners would be worst hit, and banking institutions will be reluctant to advance loans to businessmen. Depression is the worst base of the business cycle, even though Keynes advocated that autonomous investment of the government alone can help the economy to come out from the depression field. The last phase of the business cycle is recovery. After a period of depression, so the recovery will be setting. This is the turning point from the depression to revival towards upswing. Okay, it begins with the revival of the demand for capital goods, because autonomous investment boosts the activity. Autonomous investment mean, okay, that autonomous investment now no need, so we will tell later. In this base only, the demand will be increased step by step. Okay, as per the increased the demand of the commodities, so the production also will be increased. So the entrepreneurs automatically will be started in any of the new industries. The bank also will be reduced the rate of interest. So when the bank reduces the rate of interest, all of the entrepreneurs can have the more loan facilities from the bank. Okay, because of this way, so all the entrepreneurs will have the chance to starting in one of the new industries. Okay, from this way, so the base of the business cycle will be increased from the depression to recovery. Next, another major area of the macroeconomics. So another one of the major area of the macroeconomics is poverty and unemployment. Okay, the major problems of all the nations, or most resource rich nations or the poor nations, have the poverty and unemployment. Okay, even though if in all the nations are taking more effort to increase their economic development, without the employment opportunity, it will not be attained the full economic level. Okay, so the poverty and unemployment only will called as a economic paradox. Economic paradox means all the nations must be meet these situations, poverty and unemployment. Okay, even some of the developed nations also will be face the unemployment problem. A clear understanding about the magnitude of poverty and unemployment facilitates allocation of resources and initiating corrective measures. Okay, so these corrective measures also will be taken by the macroeconomic analysis. Another one of the area of the macroeconomics is economic growth. Economic growth. The growth and development of an economy and the factors determining them could be understood only through the macroeconomics analysis. Okay, because if you want to produce any of the commodity, we know, so without the factor of production, no commodity will be produced. Okay, so the allocation of the factor of productions will be implemented, or it will be corrected by the macroeconomic analysis only. And last, another one of the major area of the macroeconomics is economic policies. Macroeconomics is the significant for evolving suitable economic policies. Okay, so the macroeconomics only having the suitable economic policies for solving all the economic crises. Economic policies are necessary to solve the basic problems, to overcome the obstacles and the achieve growth. What are the obstacles will be arises in our economic? So already we studied, so the poverty and unemployment problem and the more phases of the business cycle and how to eradicate the poverty and bringing the more suitable policies, everything's also called as a economic obstacles. Okay, this all the obstacles will be eradicated by the macroeconomic analysis. Okay, next, limitations of the macroeconomics. Even though if you have more benefit of the macroeconomics, this macroeconomics also will have some of the limitations. What are the limitations? First one of the limitation is there is a danger of excessive generalization of the economy. There is a danger of excessive generalization of the economy. What's the meaning of excessive generalization? We are studying some of the assumption, so before studying any one of the law, we must consider some of the assumption. Okay, according to the assumption only, that type of some of the law will be operate. But in this macroeconomics, some of the law of the macroeconomics will have the same assumption for more laws. The same assumptions only will have for more laws and theories. Okay, so this same assumption will not be suitable to formulate all the laws or theories under some circumstances. Another one of the limitation is, so the macroeconomic assumes homogeneity among individual units. That means, so the every separate individual units also will having the different type of the features. Okay, but the macroeconomic analysis assumes, so all the individual units also will having the same features. Okay, this is also one of the limitations, but actually it will not be like that. Next one is there is a fallacy of composition. Fallacy of composition means some of the mistakes in composition of the or composing of the economic analysis. For example, some of the good will be more good for the individual peoples, but the same goods not be suitable to the improvement of or development of the economic of one nations. Otherwise, some of the goods, the production of the goods will be improve the national income of one nations, but the same good, the production of the goods will not be improve the economic development of another one of the nations. For example, in any of the nations will encouraging the production of the alcohol or the liquor. Okay, but our nations not like that. Okay, so that meaning is called as a fallacy of compositions. Okay, so all the nations, all the peoples and all the time will not be same to improve the economic development. And another one of the limitation is, so the non-economic factors, so the affecting of the non-economic factors. That is, so the many non-economic factors also will be determining the economic activities. So the example of the non-economic factors, anybody knows? So some of the example of the non-economic factors is the infrastructure facilities and the education and the transportations, banking facilities and advertising facilities and the planning, government policies and the working for the peoples, those who are all working in our family, everything is also called as a non-economic factors. Okay, but this non-economic factor also will be determining the economic activities, but the macroeconomic analysis will not give the place to non-economic activities. Okay, next is the classification of economy. Classification of economy. So the economics can be classified into different types based on the headings or branches. Okay, So first one is on the basis of the status of development. Okay, the status of development we can classify the economy as a 3 or 4. First one is developed countries, or the underdeveloped countries, or the undeveloped countries. Or countries mean economies. Okay, the developed economies, or undeveloped economies, or underdeveloped economies, or developing economies. Okay, so the developed economies means, so there will be always full employment opportunity, the national income also will be increased, and the high rate of the living standard of the peoples. Okay, so the developing economy mean, so these all categories also will be increasing step by step. Okay, underdeveloped means there will not be any employment opportunity. Okay, some of the features of poverty will be existing. Okay, next, on the basis of the system of activities. Okay, on the basis of activities we can classify the economies as a 3 types. First one is capitalistic economy, next one is socialistic economy, third one is mixed economies. Here the capitalistic economy means, so the free economy. Free economy means, in this capitalistic economy, so there is no government interventions. Without government interventions, all the entrepreneurs can determine the market phenomenon. So the role of government also will be very low. And not only that, so the market only will be determines the economic activity. Market means how the market will be determined. So the demand and supply. So the demand and supply also will be determined by the same capitalistic. Okay, if there is more demand, they will reduce the supply of the commodities. Okay, otherwise if there is more supply, they will create the artificial demand. Okay, so in this way, so the capitalist only will be handling or controlling the market. And not only that, the means of production of the capitalistic economy also privately owned. Privately owned mean, so the basic problems also will be handled by the capitalistic. So what product we have to produce, for whom we have to produce, how can we produce, everything also will be determined by the capitalistic itself. Okay, so and what are the goods will be produced under the capitalistic is, so the comfortable goods only, because so the capitalistic always will have